Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to DjangoCon Australia 2014. Again, apologies for the late start. I've been talking with the organisers. What we're going to do is we're going to start a little bit late. Apparently the other tracks have actually already started, but we're going to make it up at morning tea. Morning tea is going to be a little bit longer, and we should be back into the swing of things by then. So yes. Special thanks, of course, to PyCon, to PyCon Australia and LinksConf.au for their assistance in getting DjangoCon Australia up and running. This event today is primarily sponsored by the Django Software Foundation, and also thank you to our in-kind sponsors, The Cut, who helped develop the website. For those of you who are looking for the Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi SSID you're looking for is BCEC link. There shouldn't be a password, and all indications are that there's actually quite a good strong signal there, so enjoy the Wi-Fi. As with all Python community events and Django community events, this event is being held under the terms of a code of conduct. Terms of that code of conduct are available on the website, so if you be aware that it is there, so be aware there are behaviours that are not acceptable at this event. If you are subject to a behaviour that you think is questionable, please come and find myself or one of the organisers wandering around with lanyards marking them as such. We do not tolerate any kind of inappropriate behaviour at these events, so please, let's make this a good show for everyone. Some minor pieces of housekeeping. Morning tea and afternoon tea today is provided. Lunch, however, is not. So when we get to the lunch break, you're going to need to wander out into the far world. You will, however, find that there are a lot of little cafes and whatnot just down to that direction. But also please be back on time so we can actually get the show running and hopefully not lose too much time by the end of the day. Also tonight there are icebreaker dinners. We have a formal dinner tomorrow night, but tonight we have icebreaker dinners. The PyCon organisers have arranged for bookings for 10 at a whole bunch of local restaurants. If you jump onto the pyconau.org website, there is a link on the homepage of the website to a wiki which lists all the restaurants and lists the people who are taking up those bookings. So if you are interested in going out to a restaurant, we have tables booked. If you can log onto the wiki and put your name next to a particular restaurant before midday, because obviously when midday comes, we're going to have to cancel the bookings that don't have enough people or don't have any people associated with them. If your name isn't on that wiki, essentially you are fending for yourself this evening. Again, there are plenty of good restaurants around. We just happen to have a couple with bookings, because after all, it is Friday night. We are going to have lightning talks this afternoon, just before afternoon tea. If you are interested in giving a lightning talk this afternoon, please come and speak to me. I will be sitting down the front here, or I'll be available and around during the breaks. Essentially, if those of you who haven't seen them before, a lightning talk is a 5-minute slot, an informal slot, where you can basically talk about anything that is of interest to you, be that Zeppelins, as someone down the front here is fond of talking about, or anything else that is Django-related, Python-related, project you're interested in, want to make some noise about. This is your opportunity without having to go through a formal program acceptance to get up on stage and talk about it. Very limited 5 minutes. You can have slides if you want, but it's not mandatory. When the 5 minutes comes up, your time is out, and we will start throwing things at you to get you off stage. So if you are interested in giving a lightning talk this afternoon, please, again, come and see me, either during the breaks or down at the front here, and we'll get you a slot into that program. Lastly, T-shirts. I don't know if those of you saw last year. We have T-shirts. This is a mini-conference event, and it wouldn't have happened at all if it wasn't for the PyCon organisers. Chris Neugebauer, in particular, last year started up this mini-conf program so that events like DjangoCon Australia can happen without having to take on the risk that is associated, or the financial risk that is associated with organising an event of this size and scale. But as a result of being a mini-conference, we also don't have a huge budget. The tickets were cheap compared to the PyCon Australia tickets. Even the PyCon Australia tickets were cheap, but because it's a cheap mini-conference ticket, we don't have a budget for things like T-shirts. So, as with last year, we are doing a fundraiser around a DjangoCon Australia shirt. If you want, you can log on to teespring.com/DCAU 2014 and place an order. This is effectively a Kickstarter-style thing. We must receive 50 orders. If we receive 50 orders, then the shirts get printed and they get shipped out. If we don't, then all bets are off. No one loses any money. They are available in a men's unisex style shirt, a women's cut shirt, and as a hoodie this year as well. So the T-shirts are $20, the hoodies are $30. That's US $20 and $30. Shipping is a little bit expensive. It's $10 for the first item and $1.50 for every item after that. But if you have local user groups, I would heartily suggest that you pitch together, because if you can get a bunch of you all in the same user group to put in a collective order, the shipping shared over all those orders comes down very, very rapidly. The Kickstarter runs until the end of Sunday week, so August 10th. You have until August 10th to place your orders, organise amongst your users groups to make that happen. So yes, teespring.com DCAU 2014. I will be tweeting about that so everyone knows where the link is. And now, on with the show. Our first speaker, our keynote speaker today is Ms. Katie Cunningham. She's formerly of NASA, where she discovered Django, was involved in using Django at NASA. She is now with the Cox Media Group, and is also an author with books printed by both O'Reilly and the Pearson Press, and I think she's got a couple of others in the works coming down the pipeline. She is here today to talk about that experience of being an author and the experience of getting documentation out there. Django has always had a very strong tradition of having good documentation, but that doesn't mean we can't improve and we can't have more of it. So, without further ado, I would like to invite to the stage the real Katie Cunningham.